Our first interview today, we will be talking to Nomdakazana, also known as Umeki Green, a 34-year-old that is residing in Cosmo City. She'll be taking us through losing the love of her life and gaining the love of her life. So please watch and don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Just kindly brief us about who Nomdakazana is, where she's from, and yeah.
Hi. Alright, so my name is Nomdakazana Esther Maqwati, as Uthandeka has introduced me. Nomdakazana Esther comes from Dala, great-grandmothers and stuff like that, and I don't know why they named me Esther, and I hated that name for a very long time, up until I actually, did my own research about the name, and I actually love my name now. So I'm proudly Nomdakazana Esther Maqwati, but I'm also an artist, so I go by the name of Umeki Green. Mickey is my nickname, so green is everything green, because I believe that healing is green. Today we are talking about a very sensitive topic that is very dear and very private, but I'm willing to share because this is not just about me, it's about everybody else that has gone through or is going through what I went through. 15 when I first met this guy, and I'll tell you how. We met, I remember the owner of the hall that they actually had a concert at was my neighbor that asked me to go and close because they had a concert. He was a musician, so they had a concert and they hired his hall, and they didn't want to vacate because it's cut out this penny. So I went there to get the keys. So I got to the door and I was like, I'm looking for this person. I don't know the person. I'm looking for this person. I'm sent by this guy, yabo. And then I was, and then I got to him. I was like, hey, I must come and close this place, So he was like, no, please give us 5 minutes, And then at that time, he was just a guy, We met. I sat there, watched I think 2 performances before they were done, and they were done. And then after that, we took a taxi together. And then 3 years later, I think I was 18 then, I met this guy again. Guess what happened? When he entered, it was that aha moment, I think from that day, for me, that's when I literally fell in love with that guy. I didn't know him. Man. Anyway, so we were introduced, and he actually auditioned me, and I made it to the choir, obviously because he felt the same. Now I know. when you know, something was happening. My heart was racing. I was sweating. I fell in love, guys, for the first time. I fell in love for the first time, and it was awesome because I remember getting home for the first time that night. I got home after 12 midnight. Imagine, from the concert. No problem. I was a teenager, so my mom understood. Well, she didn't really understand, but yeah. So we continued again now, getting to know each other, blah, blah, blah. I got to know his weak side. He was a person that maumbona, you wouldn't say that lo muntu lo unama weaknesses. He was that brave person, that hard person ukuthi they can actually stand for anything. But as long as I have known that guy, I knew he had weaknesses. I knew he wasn't as strong as he's letting people to believe, And I think for me, I need to know that side of you in order for me to be open to you. I need to know ukuthi he cried. I remember this one time he was telling me ukuthi angazi his family. He was telling me a story about his family, ukuthi where they come from, and I saw a tear in his eyes. And for me, guys, maybe I'm attracted to to pain, man. Like, there's something about knowing a story about you that literally attracts me. But to lie, because I knew my mom would never allow me to leave the house in Aboma 9 to come back the following day. So I had to lie and say, hey, my friend passed, so her mother is strong, her e-metric, what. Whereas I knew very well that the love of my life outside, you know. So we went to the concert. So when we got to the concert, I took him because besasebenzisa lama phone, ama Nokia phone. I don't know if you all remember them. Those Nokia phones, the latest in the area. Yeah. So he took that phone, said to me, you know what? Because the phone is opalam. He's like, let me keep this phone. Kanti utemet switched off the phone. I don't know where he threw it. By the time mina beseng papa, bese kalabo 5, 4, 3, and I'm thinking my mom said I should be home by 9, and I'm crying. People are celebrating. Mina, I'm crying. He's here kissing me, celebrating. Yeah, we made it to the new year. Blah 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 blah. And my heart at that time literally sank because I respected Umama more than anything. You know, I wouldn't do anything as disrespect my mom and how she raised us. Anyway, Masagi Wekaya again because he was driving. Masagi Wekaya is delivering people. So I'm like, ngoba smanje start sekungabuma 2 a.m. 2 a.m. And I'm like, okay, ngicela ngiqale ngami guys. At least mina ngiyashaya fast iphele. Yeah, understand because it's so sharp, you know? He's like, oh, okay. But to my surprise, by the time I woke up, guys, my bedtime was 8, you know, so I am tired. I've never been outside Naliskat, you know, so I dozed off. By the time I woke up, he was waking me at his house. Nigga, you know, so I woke up at his house. He was carrying me to his house, so fine. Went in. And you know, abantu bathandana about 2 guys. We were crazy about each other, you know. And then I think that I know that day I literally fell pregnant. Go on that day, I will never forget that day.
I'm gonna ask you to take us through the process of having to. Your mother, you respected your mother. You weren't allowed to be outside late, and now you come back. Obviously, a few months later or a few weeks later. You are pregnant, and even telling him that, my guy, we are expecting. How was that like?
Okay, so me respecting my mom and me falling pregnant on the 31st, I think it was the first exciting one when we did the thing that people do. And then, right? And now I had to go and face my mom. I don't even know what having a boyfriend is. I don't even know how I'm going to speak to this woman. When I get home on the first, if you grew up in the Eastern Cape, the first is the most important day. They are busy preparing to go to the beach. That time I am tired. I don't want anything. I'm tired from many things.
A lot of things.
So I get there and my mom is like. My mom is she's very loud. Yeah, we're funny. Hey, plus kona nabumakhelwane ke kumnanda ngithi net one. Hey, what that time. I'm like, say whatever you want. Mina, I'm in love, guys. I don't care really. Basically, that's what I was saying with my attitude apparently. So I think I didn't tell anyone for the first 4 months, including him, because he was no longer in the Eastern Cape. He had moved to I think he knew Marayen. He had to move to Cape Town because he was playing keys at church, so they had opened a new branch. He was a full musician, that guy. Anyway, after 4 months, I'm not seeing my periods. I'm not seeing any difference. I'm busy pressing myself. I'm not feeling anything. I'm like, maybe I'm, you know, I don't know.
I just want to ask you, Ne? You are mentioning it's been 14 years,
right?
And you are saying time heals. I remember sometime last year you and I had a conversation where you had said to me, my grieving is just taking you back to God. I don't know, Oguti, how it took you back to God. Maybe it was because of how much you realized, Oguti, you needed God when you were going through that.
Right.
But I just want to know now, Oguti, are there times where you get angry at Onako because of maybe there's something she says or something that she does that just reminds you of Umalibongo. How has it been like being a parent of someone that you had to explain to, okay, your dad is not here? Because I mean, you are trying to heal now as a person, but now having to, I don't know how to explain it, but having to explain it to umntwana that has never experienced Umalibongo and having to see ayenza izinto ebezenza uMalibongo. How is that?
Oh my God. Bongo was not a listener. He was everything. He was not a listener. Okay. I remember when Uonsi was born, guys. Wayo Malbongo ahleli like yonkinto. I even thought she was a boy because wayo Malbongo ehleli. At least manje she looks like me, thank God. Because I don't think I would have survived her looking like him. You know? She is like him in every way, guys. Every way. Every way, the way we fight. Jesus Christ, guys, it's not easy raising a teenager. Every time when my family is supposed to meet his family, something happens, either somebody dies or a house burns. I remember there was a lot of stories. Until one day I received a call from my sister. My sister found out that I was pregnant also. And she said, you know what, come to Joburg. You know? And at this time I was 9 months pregnant. I was about to give birth. And Umalibongo is in Cape Town for like, his name was Umalibongo, by the way, sorry. His name was Umalibongo Victayako. I will never forget that guy. I will never. I don't care who I meet, when, how. Because I feel like that guy taught me a lot about life, taught me a lot about love. And my sister called. I was 9 months pregnant to come to Joburg because I was not working, blah blah blah. They would take care of me and the baby, blah blah blah. Okay, sharp. I can't call Malbongo, he doesn't have a phone, you know, to tell him that I'm leaving. So I left, came to Joburg, 9 months pregnant. I wasn't that big, I was just, you know, because I don't know why, good genes I guess. So I came to Joburg. I remember I gave birth on the 20th of October. I remember it was a C-section. Because I was sick, I had high blood pressure, and I think, but Dr. Bati, I had stress, and I know very well what less stress was the fact that I was not seeing Baba Mtanami as much as I wanted to. But anyway, I gave birth on the 20th, on the 20th of October that year, and on the 30th of the very same month. On the 29th, I remember. It was the 29th of October. Umntanami mina never gave me any problems. Bengasumuntu okhalayo, you know. Ukuthi umntwana hey awulali umntwana hey no. Mina umntanami slept kahle nje. Bekungathi akunamntwana endlini. That's how quiet it was. But that night, it was a Saturday. That night, hey, ngithe endlini sinikazane ngaye uba abantu baze balale. I was the only one left. And umntana khona ngcine sekalala la engalweni because she was timing. Ngimlalise la engalweni because she didn't want to sleep here, she didn't want to sleep here, she didn't want anything. The only thing she was doing, she was crying that whole damn night. I remember my sister the Sunday morning when she woke up, she was like, where's the child? She looked on the bed. I'm like, nah, there she is. You know. And then that Sunday we were sitting. I remember. If you remember, if you are old, you will know it was Gold. I don't know if it still plays now, but I don't watch TV. We were watching It Gospel Gold. I can't remember clearly who was singing on that show, but my phone rang, and my friend, the one, remember I told you about my friend who sent me a text to say there's an audition, the very same one, she called me. And when she called me, I knew something was not right. But in my mind, it wasn't that serious. It wasn't something that would change my life. But I knew something was not right, you know? She called me. She said, Mix, how are you? I'm like, I'm fine. She sounded like she had flu. I was like, why? Oh, you sound like you have flu. What's going on? Upu my bongo. That's what I said. First thing I asked her. Upu my bongo. She said, I'm like, tell me, is he getting married to somebody else? Has he impregnated? That's where my mind took me, you know? Which maybe Mitisile, or he's getting married or he's engaged, something like that. And she said, at that time, I don't know if my mind left me for a minute or my soul went out of my body and it came back. I remember, I don't know if I threw the phone or it fell. At that point, I don't know. But I had to come to terms. So we called her back. My sisters called her back to find out or to confirm what's going on, you know. So they called and Bele, she confirmed that he's no longer. So I asked what happened. They told me there was an accident, and out of the whole taxi they were going to a concert. He was the only one who died out of everyone else that was in that car. He was sleeping at the back seat and he died. No scratch, no nothing. I didn't even want to see him at the funeral. At that point, guys, have you ever felt your life meaningless? Your life completely totally meaningless. And God, man, God, I was like, I understand, maybe God, you are angry with me because I fell pregnant, but you know, I did not want to hear anything that had to do with God. Anything that had to do with I hated everyone. I hated everyone that's gonna come to me and say I'm sorry. You know, for me that was like an insult, honestly. And then I remember my classmates coming to my house to pay their respects, I guess. I don't know what they were coming for. At that time, I don't eat, I don't bath. The only thing that is keeping me sane is this child that needs my attention. I think that child, I think we has planned. Because how do you give me a child that I know nothing about? I don't know anything about raising a child, you know, and take the one thing that for me defined happiness, you know. So the only thing that made me not to jump off a cliff, the one thing that made me not to take that rope, the one thing that made me not to throw myself and just die, because I felt like I had nothing else, was that child. Was that child, man. She replaced. It will never end. It will forever be there. And I read a lot at that time. Nothing Christianity, Jesus, Lord, blah blah blah, nothing like that. But I read because I felt like I need to keep busy, you know. I read, the only thing I did, I read poetry, a lot of poetry. I read books on healing. And I raised this child. It was not easy, guys. I don't want to lie to you. Being a single mom to a father, that I feel like even I was working in town, like Joburg. We came back after the funeral. Shem, I had a lot of support. I don't want to lie. Hey, abangani this, blah blah. Obviously, as a parent, umzali wakho will tell you ukuthi I don't want to lie, I made it through that darkness through my friends, through my family, and through strangers. I remember this one time, I think I lost my mind. And I was, and Moses began to make a veg. So I think I saw Malbongo, or I saw his face in a stranger's face. And I ran to them, and I was like, this guy looked at me, you know, with surprise. What the hell? You know? Guys, I almost lost my mind. Pain has its way of doing that, of digging. I don't know what that is, but I lost my mind for a moment there. I really, really did. And the healing process for me, there is no way to healing that I can say I took, because I did not even know where to begin, because I had so many pieces to pick up, you know, and to start and build myself. I did not even know what that was, you know. So this one time I was walking in town, I think a year or two later, and then I heard, I saw on the wall. I haven't been to church for that long. Ever since Malbongo died, I haven't been to church. I have not prayed. I have not said anything to God about God or anything. I lived my life. And then this one time, I think it was a Sunday, I heard people praying, and then I saw on the wall, it was written, New Way of Life. And that to me resonated so deeply, because I felt like I needed a new way of life in my life. And I made a promise to myself. I said, you know what, I'm going to go to that place next time so that I can see what kind of life are they going to give me, you know. And the following Sunday, I bathed my child, and then we went to that place. It was a church. At the back of that church, feeling nothing. I was numb to everything. I was just that person that was numb. I felt nothing. I didn't give a fuck about anything. Sorry, I didn't give a damn about a lot of things. You know, for me, I was just living. So I sat there. And can you believe what the pastor said? I will never forget that preaching. I don't even know if that was a preaching or that was God, you know, trying to charm his way back into my life. He said, first word he said, everyone that's sitting at the back, can they come to the front? I'm thinking to myself, you know, you don't know who you're talking to.
Try me.
No, you don't know. And I sat there. I waited. I wanted him to come and fetch me from that chair. I didn't move. I sat there. He continued and he said, I have a message, a specific message. He said those words. He said he has a specific message for a specific person today. And he said, God is not angry with you. It's not even in the Bible. You know?
It didn't make sense.
I was like, I sat there, guys, as numb as I was, but that literally touched me. And I cried. That's all I could do. I cried. I sat there. They were praying. I was crying. They were singing. I was crying. I felt that knock. Jesus is standing at the door of your heart, is knocking. I felt that knock that day when he said, God is not angry. Into engidonsele kulela sonto leliya was the name of the church. It's a new way of life. And I was like, I needed a new way of life in my life. I needed to stop hurting. I needed something that was going to fill this void. Because every day, guys, and this is not even me exaggerating, every day, Malbongo Dikayako was the first thing in my mind, like the last thing at night before I slept. His face, I still remember today how his face looked. I still remember how he used to smell. I still remember, oh man, guys, death be not proud, man. I don't even know. I remember this one time, I think it was last month, when I miss him. There's days, even today, when I miss him. I googled his name on Google, and it came out as this. Do you know how much I cried? As if, I didn't know. I still Google his name, guys, after 14 years. After 14 years. And people will tell you, time heals. Time heals. I don't want to lie. Time really, really does take some of... I don't think it's time. But, yeah, guys, thank you for messing up my makeup.